Daniel, mind if I put you out there, dude?
Put him out there.
He fell twice, and would have fell a third time. We'd have pulled him out and let him do his work at home now. I mean, I'm like, God, third time's a charm, dude. You do that, they're just going to put you in this, on this one little room on a little yellow bus, and you're going to be there by yourself. But Dwayne, watch this, he recruits me. Dwayne recruits me into a company where we both later will be producing $40,000 to $80,000 a month together with what we learned what to do with this company. That's the power of working with people with who they are instead of what the world has conditioned us to be. Am I making this up? Dwayne,
Oh, this is 100% real.
watch this now. What did I tell you when you said, Dad, you got to get in this? What did I say?
I'm going to just let you do this.
What was my reason?
I didn't want to... What was it?
People are going to say that the reason you're successful is because I'm in it. Your dad's really doing all the work. And I said, I ain't going to rob you, dude. You should live your deal, make it happen. People would start saying that. Because in that 1 year time, I became known all over the world for my ability to grow a team fast. People were calling me everywhere to go and start training them. We already started building some really good income. In 1 year, new guy. Excuse me, I don't know if you can come teach my so-and-so. I was at Virginia Beach, then I was up in California, this is Minnesota, I was all over the place. So by now, Dwayne's got this thing, and by now he's going to, anybody know where Aventura is?
Yeah.
He gets a place over there. On his own. We come into town, we stay with Dwayne, and here's a beautiful place, gated community. 18, he's in college at the Fort Memorial University. Not because we are anything special, but because God's put that in all of us. Any one of us can be successful if we plug more into what He made us to be rather than what we think they made us to be. If you got that, say, I got it.
I got it.
Here's a question. Do I make more because of what they gave me or because of what God gave me? Right, because God gave me that life and those children who really are the nuts and bolts behind what happens in my household. So, as you go into a break, understand this. The same kid who I literally wanted to take by the collar works in Arby's for just a little while and gets fired because he's with the wrong people. I'm like, kid, don't you understand your future is here? You'll be out of school soon if you make it, and you can't even last on an entry-level job. Good gravy! I wanted to just wring his neck. A year later, he and I are on airplanes flying to Chicago for what this company does, and literally we're flying all over the place making a fortune. Because of what he taught me about what could be done with the internet and marketing. I was doing network marketing. I was very one-dimensional. He taught me. And during this time, Daniel had his own business. What did you do?
Made book covers and different website managers.
There's different authors who needs a Daniel's really great with graphic design. If you have like, anybody have the Trashman, the Catchman? That's one of the books. Or the downturn of being the upside of being downturned, the upturn to be downsized, whatever. Different authors go to Daniel to create the graphics. He does them for magazines. I mean, anybody ever go use HBC, Home Business Connection? He's got a really big full-page ad coming out there. One company, he's done theirs. He's done a lot of the sites around the country. He's done a lot of stuff, and no, he's 19. 19, and he doesn't live with us. He just visits us a lot. He's down here again. But the power is, wow. What God can do, no man can tear asunder. And if we measure ourselves solely by the system that our world gave us that literally is prehistoric, you're in for trouble. Because you know what? That basket that you were putting your eggs in is slowly dissolving. Love the people in your household in spite of their differences. Find a way to build a bridge from where they are to you, not from where you are to them. Now, do you understand that part? Build a bridge for the people that are in your home. Whether it's grandparent, grandchild, whoever it is, build a bridge from where they are to you. Stop dealing with everything from a selfish standpoint where everybody's got to be like you and do your thing. Who are they? And then find that connection between you and them. It's going to be amazing what God can do. This is Dwayne Golden. You're going to hear a lot when we come back in our second session before we go to lunch, and I want you to be ready for it. Give up for yourselves for being a kid from this. I was born and raised in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. But I got lawyer friends who would travel just to see it for themselves. When they tell me they make $250 an hour or $500 an hour, I say, I wouldn't work for that. I can't work for that. I wouldn't do it. They go, what are you talking about? I go, settle for that. I got one friend, close. I've known him since I was in college. He's an attorney. He used to be the state prosecutor for Pennsylvania. He just had to see for himself. He comes to Maryland. He comes to I was doing a training. By the way, it's really weird. I didn't have to go out looking for what I was supposed to be. By doing what I was supposed to do in network marketing, it kind of presented itself. We just started growing and using our family to grow, and people said, can you come train us? We started trading, and then people started getting angry. Listen, I love what you taught us and what you were going over, but how do I want to be able to learn more. It's not enough to just go to a meeting. I mean, that gets old after a while. I want to be able to hear it so I can start being that. Now I'm like, oh boy, now I got to learn this stuff when, I mean, I was a trainer to train. In the corporate world, you train the training. That's the reason you do it. You don't really give people something they can really just become inside themselves. So this story's going to crack you up. So here I am, pretty excited that I have a business, network marketing. And the really neat thing is, it was just part of the pathway. You can never work in optimum until you become who you are optimally. So if you spend half of your life working on the pathway that someone else gave you, trust me, your limitations are going to be there and your results will be what they are. You can expect those to, I mean, just mediocre and average results at best. Everyone is average and never the best at something that's not meant for them. It's just the way it works. So if I really dig the way Jamal plays ball, and I say, I want to be a ball player, I got to be just like Jamal. The best I could ever be is second best because he's the best. He is Jamal. You remember me? And not you, not Jamal, that's another guy. Hey Jamal, you get out of here. And anyway, Jamal, I said correct me. See? Yeah, and if he was older, he might not even corrected me. He just conformed and just dealt with it. That's what's cool about the younger generation, is they still don't want to be put into a capsized box. I like that. You keep that up. A lot of some of you older ones, like, oh, he just messed up. It's no big deal. Just gonna let it ride. Hey, look. Better like Jamal to you? Anyway. There you go. So here's what happens. We get these calls from different companies. I'm in a company called Aniva, but they're calling from YTB, Arbonne, Mary Kay. We see what you're doing. We've actually seen some of your team sites. Help us. So we begin to have this thing where about every weekend, I have to be in some different state. And we didn't have an official business in this yet. So, instead of rejecting those people in my household that used to annoy me, just because they weren't like me, that son who was so difficult, the other son who was very annoying because of his influences of his friends and the music he listened to, my wife who wasn't aggressive the way I wanted her to be, yeah, I can take two up front on this side or two right here. Sorry, excuse me, folks. Somebody, just before I go into this, somebody give me an aha about something you may have heard this morning that can be an absolute blessing for you. Yeah. But here's the deal. It's a beautiful picture when you start to see an adult live in the element in which they were created in spite of the acceptance or lack of acceptance from those around them. When that happens, boy, the sky's the limit. And when it happens as a team, when it happens as a team and a unit, oh. My kids will tell you that we are our best friends, and we have other people that we deal with. We're not like a blinded, we don't see anybody else. We just enjoy each other. It's very common. If I say, hey, your mom and I are going to, we're going to go to Vegas next month, and then we're going to Colombia or somewhere in March. My kids already know what they're going to do. Okay, what's the date? We're going to get our tickets, right? It's just the way they think. Even though they're already gone, they still think that way. It's not because we're excellent parents, it's because we began, eventually, I began to stop holding them hostage and trying to make them become me. And when I accepted them, now I have a very weak and inadequate business without them. So here it goes. The law of conformity said, dudes, you're in this thing called MLM, you're doing very well, why don't you stay there? And then as my destiny began to call me, I mean, can you come here? Someone says, hey, look, we need you in Australia. Like, I'm not going to Australia, dude. I mean, I'm from the other side of the tracks. We don't really just experiment like that. I'll do it on a conference call. I mean, I was everywhere. I mean, I tried not to go leave the country. Then he said, hey, look, what was it, 5 Links? Is it the name of the company? He wants to come and go and speak with Les Brown, some other people. Before you know it, I'm like, I can't do it. I have nothing to offer people. Thank you, sir. I begin to work on how do I create products so that people, instead of me traveling so much, because I'm getting, by the way, I'm a survivor. I had all my breast tissue removed, had over 38 surgeries. Most of the tissue on my lower extremities have been removed. I've had over 17 plastic surgeries on my legs alone. And so I didn't have the body for going around and doing all this crazy training. So I had to create a way, how do I make it more lasting? So what I did was, I went and found some experts in the industry and bought their material, and after I spoke, I would sell it to them so they can have that, because I'm not going to come back for at least another year. And then one day, I got this really bad letter. It wasn't a Dear John letter, it was the kind of letter that said, listen, dude, you got to talk to us about one thing, and then we go home with these other people. That's not what we're looking for. I want a 100% refund. I'm like, oh, shoot. My brother's been telling me all along, Dwayne, you ought to capture some of this stuff, you ought to actually record it, and you ought to create a way that where people can actually use this training for the teams and stuff so they can do it without you always being there. You're way too busy, you're going to end up sick again.